Hey, this is Joe Price. This is a video to show you how you can use the reverse hints feature on Family Search to attach BillionGraves records to the family tree. This is specifically for a project we're doing in Iowa, so I'll use that as the example, but you'll see that when I type in Iowa, you could easily type in other places. And the neat thing is you can type in specific cities and other ways to customize. But yeah, so let me share my screen so you can see how this works. So this is the main page that you're going to want to get to, and I'll put the URL to this in the notes, but other groups will be just coming directly to this page. So this is the BillionGraves collection, and so I'm just going to type in some search parameters. You could do anything you want. I'm going to just do price and Iowa. Okay, I could also put in more specific options like when they died, other information. Okay, so then I'm just going to search. And notice I get 414 prices in Iowa. And what we're looking for is that icon right there. This is what we call a reverse hint. And so if I right click on it, I can open link in a new tab. And then here I am in SourceLinker. And here in SourceLinker, then I have to decide if this is a match or not. And actually, this is a great one because I didn't know when he died previously. And you can see here Cedar Rapids, where he was living in 1880. That's where he died in 1893. And it's really great to have this record, this information added, because now I know that I would never be able to find him in the 1900 census, even though I can find his wife there. And actually, if I probably found her, I could probably see that she was a widow. So let's just make sure everything came over. Yeah, so this one looks great. And then I want to show something kind of cool is if I refresh my page, then that icon that was ahead before right here is now this pedigree icon. So it says view attached tree person. It means that person is now attached. Okay, so I can scroll down. Here's another one right here. And again, each time it's just going to pull open a window in a new link. And so we can see here the death info lines up really well, the burial. So in this case, I'm not finding new information, but I am attaching a source, which is always really good to do. Yeah, and then you can see these ones are attached. And then I can open this link in a new window. And so that's how I would proceed. And so each time I'm kind of looking to see if it's a match. So you can see Maud Reeves, all this information lines up. And then I can hit attach. Okay. And so that's basically how it would work. A couple things that I like is I like to turn the search results to 100. And so then I can see kind of more. I can kind of scroll down and see more. I also tend to like to open up multiple windows at once. So let me just show you this. If I pull the screen away from the others, I can close all of those. And then if I come back in here, I can just right click on each of these. So notice I'm just opening up each of these, and then I can just work my way backwards. Okay. And let's see. So yeah, a lot of these are going to match really well and be pretty easy to do. Oh, but actually like here, always kind of watch for any new thing you get. Like here, I almost overlook this. Right here's got our middle name, May. And it's really hard to know when those little pieces of information are going to be really important, but we want it to be as complete as possible. And the other thing is, obviously, once you come to the person page, you're welcome to do other things for the person. You could attach other sources, maybe see if you could always see how you're related by doing this. But those are all kind of possibilities that you can do. Okay, so those are attached. Let me just show you one other thing. That's the main thing, is probably just attaching the sources. And it, I think there's a hope that in the future, maybe Family Search will make it easier to sort, because it'd be really neat for this project if we could sort on the hints. Like right now, we have to kind of scroll through and look for them. But if we could sort them, maybe they'd all show up at the top. But let me just show you an example where we're going to do it we're going to add someone who doesn't seem to have a hint or doesn't seem to be on the tree. So for this, we're going to want to focus on, I don't know, for this example here, I'm going to do, I think it's easier sometimes right here. I'm going to do William A. Price. Okay, so let me show you how this one works. So notice he does not have a hint. He's over here. You can see he's got a birth date and a death date. Now, unfortunately, on this one, he just doesn't have a ton of information, but let me still show you the process and we'll see if we can get this to work. So we're going to go Family Search. And so right here, we just go to a person page, and I'm just going to hit Recents and then add unconnected person. And what I'm going to do is just put in William's info right here. Okay. And you'll see why that's really all I need to put in right here, because um, I'm going to add the other stuff here when I attach the source. So notice here, I've just created a new person. Here's his new PID. And then I'm going to come over here and hit attach to family tree. And then notice he's first here on the list. And then I can bring over all that information about him. And so now he's attached. And at this point, what we're hoping is maybe some other source record hints will show up for him. Now let's see. Let's actually go look at that source really quick. Maybe there's some more information on the website. Okay, so here we are. Now we're going to go over to BillionGraves. Okay, so here we have him. So we know, oh, look at that. So he is buried next to someone that might be a relative. Oh, actually, we definitely know they're, so that's actually helpful. We can see them kind of right on the same gravesite as each other. And let's see. I'm just going to see if it tells us which location they're buried in. Let's see. Okay, so here it is in Cedar Rapids. So I don't know where he died, but I can come in here and I can put in, oh, great, it's right there in the burial. Okay, so we already had the burial information. So let's now add in his wife. So here we go. And I know people get a little upset when I add in women with their married name, but right now we don't know what her maiden name was. So I think it's still better to have a married name than no name at all. But once we find her her maiden name, we will definitely want to swap that in. Okay, so here we go. And then this is great because notice now, the moment I put that in, now we find a possible match for her, which is great. So then I'm going to hit add match. And then what we can do is now that we've connected her to the tree, then we can now connect her husband. So for whatever reason, Family Search couldn't directly, link, provide a match to that person. But by adding the person to the tree and kind of starting to add more information, we were able to now make the connection. So it is a little puzzling that they didn't have a record hint for this, given that, things are lining up really well. I think the main thing was we didn't have any birthplace or death place. But yeah, so now William is on the tree. So that's obviously doing the hints is much faster. But if our goal is to make sure that no one is missed, then knowing how to add an unconnected person can be really, really helpful. And then if I come back here, so there's our William Price. If I refresh, then he will now have the pedigree icon, and so will his wife, Phyllis. And so if we kind of scroll down, we can see that. Okay. So the real key thing with what I just showed you there, let me just see if we can find, I don't know, maybe it was farther down. I can't remember how far down we went. Oh, well, it was on here somewhere. Okay, but you'll see that if we found him, then his pedigree icon will be switched. So the key thing about adding new people is it's the recents button and then add unconnected person, and you put the stuff in here. Okay. So I hope this video was helpful in getting started. Again, if you just want to do the hints, I think that's fantastic, and you can change the parameters. You can work with other people. It might be a great way to reach out to your neighbor and say, hey, we're doing this project to make sure no one gets missed. Would you like to work together on your surname? I could imagine service projects happening where people focus on a specific city. So you can search by city as well. So we hope you find lots of really creative, neat ways. But ultimately, our goal is to make sure no one gets missed. They've been doing really amazing work, making sure we find all the different gravestones and have those on BillionGraves. Now what we want to do is just make sure that those people are represented on the family tree and are connected to their families. So people can find how they're related to each other and how, where their family's from.